Manchester United returned to action on Saturday. Obviously, the game against Manchester City in China was sadly cancelled due to a terrible pitch. I don't think it was anything to do with the rain. The pitch was awful. That person's pitch was so bad and was certainly unplayable. And I'm glad we didn't get to play on it because of the fact that it could potentially injure some players. Now, we move on, as I say, to this game in Sweden, Galatasaray. And before I talk about that, I just want to go over quickly the transfer latest. Now, with Paul Pogba, it has been an absolute nightmare a couple of days. You know, the deal just doesn't seem to be finally completed. I still think it will happen. Gonzalo Higuain has now gone to Juventus in something just over 70 million, about 73, 74 million, which is a huge deal, the third highest paid for a player ever. So I do think it will happen. They didn't have that sort of money prior to the last week or so. Raiola just wants to get his cut of the fee, the agent fee. Manchester United don't want to pay it. Manchester United need to pay up about another 10 million. I think they're going to have to just pay it, bite the bullet and pay it. And then the deal will be able to get done over the line. I'm still confident it will happen because they're not going to be able to afford to pay Higuain without this massive 100-odd million pounds. They don't want to pay the agent fee. They want Manchester United to pay it. So I'm hoping Manchester United can just pay it and get the deal over the line. Now, moving along to the game against Galatasaray, we've been told that Zlatan Ibrahimovic will make his debut in this game, which is exciting news for Manchester United. For all us fans, it will be the game before the final preparation game in the Community Shield. So we will get to see, hopefully, Zlatan, obviously, as I say, start the game. He may potentially come off the bench, but I would expect him probably to get a run out hopefully from the start. You've got the likes of Wayne Rooney as well coming back into the fold, Chris Smalling as well. So I think we're going to see a lot stronger lineup for this game in Galatasaray, against Galatasaray, should I say, in Sweden. As I've said before, as you get closer to the season, you start to see a stronger lineup from each club as they get closer. They want to start getting their strongest lineup before the first Premier League game. So I wouldn't expect so many changes as we saw in the first couple of games. Obviously, it was disappointing that Man City one got called off because we could have seen the likes of Rashford given a few more minutes before the season starts. But I wouldn't expect Zlatan to play the whole game, probably just half the game, either side of half time, the first or the second 45 minutes. The same for Wayne Rooney. We'll probably see Rashford given 45 minutes again, as I say. I'm not too sure for the actual starting lineup because he has changed it dramatically. You can change it dramatically with the players he's got at his disposal. I wouldn't be surprised to see David Hare back in goal as well. Sam Johnson shaky in that game, in that previous game against Dortmund. I wouldn't expect to see the likes of Morgan Schneidlin and Martial play this game. Although the good news is they didn't really feature, well, Schneidlin didn't feature in the Euros and Martial only played 45 minutes and a real cameo appearance in that final few minutes. So there's not, I mean, Rashford didn't hardly play in the Euros either, so Jose Mourinho brought him almost straight back into that game in China, which there was talk he wasn't going to play at all, but because Chris Smalling and Wayne Rooney both played the majority of the minutes in that game, in them England games, he gave them a longer break and just made them train. So I would expect when they come back off their holidays, I'm not too sure when they're back, there's a good chance, I would presume, that they could potentially feature in the Community Shield ready for the start of the season. If they don't feature in the Community Shield, Martial and Schneidlin, then they probably won't play against Bournemouth. Potentially could be on the bench against Bournemouth, but I wouldn't expect them to start the game. You know, it's a little bit different to the players, the other players, the likes of Olivier Giroud, Arsenal, because they played the majority of the minutes in them games in France. Although you do still have to train and be match sharpness for when you're ready to come on the pitch, but still not as many minutes. But I would, as I say, expect a stronger lineup in this game. It will see hopefully a bit stronger fitness from Manchester United, because although we haven't played that many games, we've only played 2 games so far in pre-season. We've had probably a lot more training sessions now in between that game against Dortmund with that game against Manchester City being called off. So I would expect the players to be a lot more, should start getting sharper as it gets closer. And then that's the final preparation game again in the Community Shield against Leicester City, ready for the season. But I'm not too bothered about the result of this game. I don't know where Galatasaray are in their run for their pre-season. I mean, Borussia Dortmund put out a strong side, so I would expect Manchester United probably to beat Galatasaray if we put out a strong team. You know, some of them players, the likes of Pereira, really have to take their chance in this game if they're given a chance, and Fosu-Mensah, because they probably won't start the first few games of the Premier League season, and it's going to be a job that they're going to have to work their way into the team via performances in the League Cup and the Europa League. So it is a massive opportunity. We've seen James Wilson didn't take his chance and didn't go on the tour, and he's had to play a game back home for the reserves, scoring in a 5-1 victory, and will probably now end up going on loan. But you've really got to take your chance, like Rashford did last season, to get into that starting lineup as a youngster. I know it is harsh, because at young ages it's a job to take your chance if you're only given 5 or 10 minutes. But that is a real key on this journey in these pre-season games. Although even when Pereira took his chance last summer on the international, pre-season tour, should I say, he wasn't given much game time last season, which was disappointing and should have gone out on loan. But Louis van Gaal didn't want to put him out on loan, which was disappointing because he only got about 10 games last season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts ahead of the game, the final warm-up game before the Community Shield. I cannot wait. After this Saturday game, it will only be 8 days, and then we play in that Community Shield game on the Sunday against Leicester. I cannot wait. And then it will only be a week from that day that we play against Bournemouth on the Sunday. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully there will be some more breaking news soon regarding the Paul Pogba deal. I think it will get done next week. His agent just wants the big fee. That's why he's a bit annoyed at the moment, but I'm pretty sure something can happen, because Juventus will want that 100 million to recuperate for that Higuain deal. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will talk to you all again soon. See ya.